Get ahead, Clayton. What you think? What you think, Clayton? Get ahead.
I think they coming. I don't know if they're gonna win it, but they coming.
They,
Yeah, yeah.
they
They're here
definitely
to
contenders.
schedule.
They definitely
Huh?
contenders, man. I said they definitely contenders to come
Yes,
out of that
indeed.
West, man. Yeah, you can't just say, "Oh, that's a young team," and write them off. You can't do that.
Yep.
Uh,
They play great defense, man. They balling.
Right,
You
right.
know,
They,
shit.
they,
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, and they got a winning record against all the top teams.
that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
you got that with the dude Wembanyama, but he playing like 20 something minutes a game. He under 30 minutes a game.
They got him up now. The other
Yep,
day he
30.
played. Me and Tunk was talking. He played like 36 minutes the other day.
yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
but they bringing him up slowly. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that, like you say, Clayton, I think they got him off that minutes restriction now.
yeah.
So
But the
he started.
The beauty of it is they don't waste so much on them. Like that's the beauty of it. All them guys, they got 5 guys that can score the ball, and this dude out there, man, he hitting the boards. Everybody, tried to push him around. Detroit,
Right.
Yeah.
and it didn't work.
Right.
I mean, he's skinny, but he held his ground. He had 6 blocks in that game, man.
He definitely adjusted, and I was looking at him as though should he be featured more, right? Should they focus on going through him more? But as I look at it, I'm like, nah. The way it's set up now is perfect for him. I say it's perfect for him. Yeah. And you don't really want to saddle them other guys because them other guys, one of them can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want to saddle them and say, all right, man, you got to stop doing what you do so we can focus on. So yeah, man, I like what they doing now. Man.
That's the thing about the Spurs, though. Like great teams like that. Like you got one player on the team that can, no matter what you do, he gonna get his. So it's all about. Remember how Mike used to? At sometimes Mike used to be like, I'm gonna get everybody else involved. Because like Mike could get his shot at any time, so he'd go to
What's the name used to do that, man? If y'all can remember, out of that point guard, Isaiah was like that.
Oh yeah.
Isaiah was like, man, come on, y'all don't want to play. All right, I'm gonna go, and then he go off for a little bit. Then he's like, all right, y'all ready now? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna keep us in it. Yeah, I keep us in it. You know
That's
what I'm
how
saying?
Magic. Kobe,
Magic, Kobe, Bird,
right? Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If Cade Cunningham, we spoke about Cade Cunningham. If Cade Cunningham could get to that point where he can he can get his at any time, and then he can get those other people around him involved, man, that'll make them. But I like them because of their defense, though.
Question though, are they not getting involved because Cade is dominating the ball, or are they not getting involved because they don't really have that potent other score? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it the quality of the players, or is it not taking that approach?
And I think Cade, you know what I'm saying? Of course he can score, but I think Cade really have a point guard mentality.
Mm-hmm.
He really does have a point guard mentality, even though he can score the ball. I think he does have where he don't have a problem, getting everybody their touches and things like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because I haven't watched Detroit much. I haven't really watched them much.
They gotta be ready to step up too. You know what I'm saying? They gotta be ready to do their part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They got some dudes. I think, like I said, I think it's gonna be like score by committee. And just like the old school Detroit team was with Isaiah now.
And I think who's getting overlooked this NBA season, y'all tell me if y'all agree. I really think, man, Jaylen Brown, man, up in Boston is getting overlooked, man, for the year he's having, man.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay.
They talking about him now. They talking about him.
You know what I'm saying? You got to say something. You got to say something.
I think that I like Jaylen Brown for years anyway. So this right here, in my opinion, ain't nothing new when it comes to Jaylen Brown, Yeah.
But when he got Boston in the mix, man, with Tatum out like that, you know what I'm saying? He still got Boston in the top of the conference over there, man. Yeah, you gotta tip your hat to him.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask y'all this though before we get into some of this other stuff. I know we're gonna talk about the ABA and then Floyd coming back, right? Yeah, man. But look, I got a theory, right, man, that I had. I don't know if y'all saw one of my videos I posted earlier this week.
What you
But
say?
I think LeBron James want to retire a Laker, man. He want to do that tour. Everybody's saying, well, he's going to go back to Cleveland, and team up with Donovan Mitchell and do the retirement tour there. But I think LeBron James wants to retire the way it's looking, man, because they throwing the dude Luka under the bus. They already talked about trading what's the Austin Reeves. I think LeBron see that retiring in Los Angeles is a more prestigious, you know what I mean? That like for your legacy, that looks more prestigious than retiring in Cleveland. I think he want to retire there. What y'all think? I'm off base.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard him really, because he, whenever the retirement conversation comes up in his interviews, it's not something he elaborate on. And I'm not sure if the media is trying to throw Luke under the bus, but I'd like to hear the LA Laker brass talk about, like, are they really willing to move off Austin Reeves? And I'm not so sure. The media always stir shit up, so I'm not so sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially with LeBron, like a year away from retirement or something like that, I wouldn't be so quick to move off Austin Reeves.
No, not Austin Reeves. I'm talking about Luka though.
You mean?
I don't think they're gonna move off Luka.
You mean throwing Luka under the bus or something like that?
Yeah, the media lately has been, they've been talking about, all these different outlets, Colin Cowherd, Jay Williams, everybody saying, well, Luka can't lead a championship team. Luka don't, you know what I mean? Stuff that people been saying all along, but now all of a sudden, it's just like a big whole bunch of, everybody is coming at Luka at one time. So I was like, I don't know.
When the season started, everybody, was looking at Luka, you know what I mean? He was in shape. Everybody looked like he had that chip on his shoulder. He had something to prove. I think as the season went on, we starting to see the regular Luka. You know what I'm saying? That we saw, phenomenal offensive player. But still, he has to have the ball. When he don't have the ball, man, he just stands in a corner and watch. He don't really move without it and things like that. So if he don't have the ball, he's virtually ineffective. And I think because of the Lakers' struggle, and Luka is the best player on the team right now, he's going to get the brunt of the criticism.
He is.
Yeah, he's going to get the brunt of the criticism because of that. You know what I'm saying?
I got a theory, Mike, too, why they dumping on Luka now. And my theory is KD sparked it. I think KD's comments sparked it.
What did he say?
KD came out and he talked about AAU basketball. He said everybody trying to say that the Europeans do it right and Americans do it wrong, and AAU is ruining basketball. And he said, I can read between the lines. That's really a knock on the Black American players. And now he made that strong statement, and you got speaking heads supporting him, standing, aligned with him, especially Stephen A. Stephen A. going out his way. Yeah. Oh, I stand with KD, yada, yada, yada. But I think that comment, it held that mirror up for the media. And now they're looking at themselves. So now I think
they want to even it out now a little bit.
Triggering, I think it's triggering more criticism toward Luka Doncic and players like that. Try to save face in the public's eye. Yeah.
Well, but I read it. Yeah.
And if you take that comment along with what's been going on in the league, when you look at all the top teams in the league, what they do, everybody play defense. You talk about Boston, Detroit, OKC, and Houston. San Antonio. Everybody, all the best teams play defense, right? Well, they're best, they have defensive teams. So, and lately you've been having fights, like not really fights, but you haven't. It looked like it's getting more chippy out there, more competitive, right? This looked like the 80s, so you got to be able to bring it at both ends, whether you a European basketball player or you're an American basketball player, you're gonna have to be able to bring it at both ends, man. And so
you make Clayton, you make an interesting point, whereas though, you know what I'm saying, like you say, KD saying that now the media gotta be like, how we've been unfairly portraying certain players, you know what I'm saying, and elevating other players. in the sense like you say, oh man, this is the right way. They fundamentally sound and things like that. You know what I mean? So you look at Luka, who a lot of people call a top 5, top 7 player in the NBA right now. You got to take the slings and arrows. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? With that, you got to take the sling, and you're the best player on his team, like I said, and your team is not playing as well. You're going to take the hit for that.
And I blame the Lakers for not having a defensive team, because I go back here again. When Luka was in Dallas, that team that went to the finals, the Dallas Mavericks successfully built a defensive type team. Even though they were scoring a lot, they had enough. He wasn't a great defender, but they built a defensive team, which enabled them to get to the finals. The Lakers have to build that. You just can't, you just can't make it be about one player and say, this guy can't play D, and that's why they're not a good defensive team. The Lakers must build that.
I think you could do that with Luka. I think you can do that. The Lakers can do that, but then you got 2 of the 3 slowest people in the league on your team. You got LeBron James, Luka, and then like James Harden. So it's hard. I'm looking at these. I was looking at some clips yesterday of the Lakers defense. Man, they just look terrible.
Yeah. The Lakers as an organization, the trade for Luka is the best move they made since LeBron wanted to come there. And that is not like they recruited LeBron. LeBron chose to go out there. The thing about it is, man, they've been horribly run, man. You know what I mean? The Ramesses out there and, been having such influence over player personnel, man. It's just been bad. And, Lakers, that's my franchise. That's my team, man. But they've been horribly run, man. I've been saying this for a few years now, man. They haven't been run right, man. They have.
Well, and the best.
Go ahead, Clay.
Go ahead, Mike.
Now, I was going to say, what do y'all have to say about before LeBron came back early in the season? I don't think JJ Redick is allowed to coach the way, because if he coached and he was able to make substitutions and coaching changes the way he wanted to, they did it. Early in the season, they had more success. So do y'all just to contribute that to having a weak schedule?
No, I attribute it to what's his name. He can't coach. I think he got way too much credit early on. JJ Redick, I think he got, the media kind of like ran with it, because he had some early success. I don't think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
I really don't, man. And I was saying like in-game adjustments, substitution patterns, you had a what they call that plus minus. You had a big plus minus when LeBron and Luka were on the court together. You know what I mean? So try to limit as many minutes that they have on the court together. You know what I mean? Right. Right now, there's 2 defensive. LeBron played defense in spurts. You know what I'm saying? Which is acceptable. You know what I mean? You don't expect a 41-year-old guy come out there locking no dude down. You don't expect that. But I'm just saying he played defense in spurts. But you got him and Luka out there, and they logged in minutes. Big minutes together, and you had a deficiency, you know what I'm saying, on the defensive side of the ball, man. So, you know what I mean? But you want to give up that for offense. They want to substitute that for offense.
Yeah. And I would have to go back and look at them early wins too, and just see like who was in the lineup, all that kind. So it's hard for me to really remember that. I know they got off to a great start though, but I don't know what to contribute it to, whether it's the schedule, whether it's whether it was LeBron being out. I don't know, huh?
But Austin Reeves was playing out his mind.
He was playing out of his mind. He was
almost averaging like 30.
Yeah.
He was playing out of his mind, but they say, man, it's like historical lows, man, when LeBron and Luka's on the court at the same time, as far as defensive deficiency. You know what I'm saying? They say it's like minus 90. They like minus 90 when they on the court together, man. So
okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the chat, Robert.
Yeah, what up, fam?
Man, I just think that So do y'all believe that LeBron is going back to Cleveland then, and do his farewell tour there?
I think them getting Harden kind of put the brakes on it.
Who?
Harden. When Cleveland got Harden, I think
that put the brakes on it.
I think that stopped the LeBron, from going back. That's what I believe.
I believe the Lakers are gonna move off of him.
You think so? Where LeBron gonna end up at then if he's not going back?
I
to
don't know because they don't
Retired.
have to re-sign him.
Right. If he's a free agent, retired.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think they're gonna re-sign him.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would be a bad move. I don't think that would be a bad move on the Lakers' part.
Yeah, I don't need.
Right. But see, everybody assuming that LeBron want to fare well. I mean, I don't know if he actually wants one. I don't know.
He might not.
Yeah, I don't know if he had, but I think Cleveland getting hard. I think Cleveland getting hard, man. I think if you bring LeBron back in and you paying him the minimum, man. You bring LeBron back and you paying him $10 million, man.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. I'm not laughing at you, Tom. I saw this comment.
Yeah, I read that comment funny as shit.
And what's the name, man? He come back in Cleveland. That wouldn't be a good fit at all. So you would have him, Harden, and Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
But if you believe the media reports, they saying it like Harden and them is lobbying the team to bring LeBron back.
Yeah.
If you believe that.
Yeah.
You know?
At first, that's what they were saying. Then I heard a report that said the Cavaliers are worried that the dude, what's his name, Donovan Mitchell, may not want to re-sign with them. And I'm thinking that might have something to do with them bringing LeBron in.
Oh, okay.
If you think about it, superstar, a lot of players that get, they turn into scapegoats when they play with LeBron. You know, so if things don't go right, you know, over there in Cleveland, it's not going to be LeBron's fault. It's going to be Donovan Mitchell.
Would be foolish to let Donovan walk. Now you can't make him stay, but you know what I'm saying? They would be foolish to entertain that for one season with LeBron. That's all I'm saying. Why would they, you know what I mean, risk losing a young superstar like Donovan Mitchell? Now, it might be other reasons he want to leave. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But if that's the reason, because they want to bring back, you know what I mean, LeBron, and he like, well, okay, so how many years Donovan Mitchell got left on his deal?
I don't know. I'm thinking that his contract is coming up soon.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, they saying they worried about losing him if they bring back LeBron. Because I think if they bring back LeBron, like you said, it's a lot of money involved in it, you know, and a lot of attention that franchise. They're gonna make a lot of money off of that. So that's is to them it's appealing.
But it's only for 1 year.
Yeah.
It's only for 1 year, man. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't risk that. I wouldn't risk losing Donovan Mitchell to bring LeBron back for 1 year. I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah. But you know, in the East is so wide open now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So Cleveland, you add LeBron to the mix. You know what I mean? That's anybody. The East is anything goes, man. As much as you like Detroit, Mike, and as much as we see the Celtics and stuff, the Cavaliers wasn't too far off.
What about the Knicks?
And the Knicks. Yeah.
They starting to fade away a little bit far as talk. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, for how they've been playing. I haven't been keeping up, but like far as talk of them coming out of the East, it seemed like, you know, that noise has, you know, quieted down a little bit. Well, what's y'all latest on that? Y'all heard anything about that or why?
Yeah, so as far as I'm following the Knicks, right? Mike Brown earlier came out and said something challenging Karl Anthony Towns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I listened to Chris Broussard. Chris Broussard said that some of the blame should be placed on what's the name? Jalen Brunson and Mike Brown, right? But I'm saying I think Jalen Brunson, he worked hard as a player. He got to work hard to at least get his shot. And you got to think, if you working hard, you see your big man just shooting threes. Y'all guards, man, y'all know where you want your big man at. You know, you want your big man in there putting in that work. And, you know, you work. It's hard for you to get a shot off, and this dude shooting a 3-pointer, man. That's demoralizing.
I think what Chris Broussard was referring to was the game where he only had 5 shot attempts.
Yeah, I remember that. Right.
Yeah. 4 of them was in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
He went 5 for 5. Right. Mm-hmm. And this is what I think Karl Anthony Towns lacks. Seems like a lot of big men lacks that now, but he lacks that type of attitude, whereas though, like, man, give me the ball type attitude. You know what I'm saying? And like Chris Broussard said, some of that is on Brunson, some of that is on Coach Brown, because you're watching the game, you know he's not shooting the ball. Okay, we're going to run this play for Karl Anthony Towns to make sure he get a shot up.
Yep.
I mean, Brunson, nothing is easy for him, right? But I think some of that is his own doing.
His own doing.
Yeah, it's never really a catch shoot. It's never a catch one dribble shoot. It's always he want to go on there, throw his body in there, create contact and things like that. Sometimes he get a whistle, sometimes he doesn't. But he makes, to me, it seems like he makes the game harder for himself.
It has to be.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And Shaq did an interview with Karl Anthony Towns, and he was calling Karl Anthony Towns out. He said, I don't want to hear that about, I want to make sure everybody get it. He said, no, sometimes you got to give me the damn ball. And that's it. He said, yeah, I hear you, legend, but, everybody can score, leadership. He kept downplaying, and Shaq was like, no, that can't be your attitude.
It's not in him.
Yeah, but it's just not in him. Right. And that's what Kenny what's his name? Kenny Smith was saying, like, that's just not in him. Right. And you can't put that in him, but you can use his talent for your benefit.
That's frustrating, right? Exactly. That's frustrating. Exactly. Just like I said, that's frustrating. And like I said, I remember Patrick Ewing said that if what was the dude, John Starks? He told John Starks, give me the ball. If you shoot that ball, I'm gonna whip your ass. You know what I mean? And as a big man, and I can see Shaq saying the same thing. To them guards, I dare you to shoot that ball.
He said it to Kobe.
But that's not Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
So it ain't even gonna go over well.
But like you say, Clayton, he still can give you 20 points though.
Exactly. You know you gotta learn how to use that.
That's right.
You gotta learn how to use that as a coaching staff, as a team.
That's right.
You can't try to make somebody become an orange.
I wish that was true. It's how you get to the point. It's how you all right. If this guy shoot 5 jumpers, and like we said, we talking about that game where he shot 5 shots all outside the paint, and he made all of them, right? Even for your team, that's still not good, because number one, the odds going to catch up with him. He hit 5 that time, right? But as a team, that's still your big man is outside the paint. Now you're gonna get long rebounds, and he not stopping the fast break. He missed a shot, and boom, everybody just blow right past him. Mike Brown called him out for defense. He didn't say nothing about the offense. He called him out for the defense. You shoot the long shot, a long rebound, and they get an easy shot at the end, a layup. It's
all I gotta say to Mike Brown and the New York Knicks team, good luck with trying to change him.
No, you're not gonna change him.
That's who he's been.
You gotta figure out, if you see, all this stuff is numbers, man. At the end of the day, numbers, production. So if I know I'm getting 20 points a game out of this guy, but I also know that some of the things he do might be putting us in a vulnerable situation, I gotta figure out other players, their strengths, and what I can do to cancel that out. You just can't keep harping on this one guy, because now you're wasting energy where you could be using your mind and trying to be constructive to come up with a way to, combat that or balance that out. And I think another reason why it ain't a lot of talk about the Knicks coming out the East, Tom and Mike, is because they lost to Detroit all year. Yeah. That's why they really not being talked about coming out of the East. Because Detroit didn't beat them every time.
Right. And then if the thing with Karl Anthony Towns, it's like, okay, if you say, all right, you need to do this and do that, and he kind of go into a shell, you're not getting the 20 points from him, and you're still not getting the other stuff either. Do you understand what I'm saying? You saying this who he's been since he's been in the league. You can't wait till he in his, I don't know how many years he's been in, but you can't wait till he's been in his 12th, 13th year and say, all right, man, you got to start doing X, Y, Z. You got to start to take advantage of, you know what I'm saying, what he can help you.
He can help you with, right? But I get your point, Mike. So on the Knicks, I don't want a big man like that. Right. But if you got a guy like that, you guys was on the brink of going to the finals last year, you have to figure out something, because you still got that same talent on the team.
Well, this is what I think that's why the Knicks moved off of Tom Thibodeau, right? Because they was thinking that maybe Mike Brown would probably try to figure something out or be able to figure something out to to motivate this guy to do something different.
No, Mike Brown came in to use that bench. Thibodeau wasn't going deep, and his players was running out of gas at the end. I think Mike Brown coming in to change that whole philosophy up too.
I think it's a combination though, because Thibodeau is more like a drill sergeant too.
Yeah.
I think he's more like a drill sergeant. And with that guy, Karl Anthony Towns, I don't see you getting the best out of him by riding him. You know what I'm saying? Some people you're not gonna get the best out of with a kick in the butt. Sometimes
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's good, man?
Man,
what's up, man?
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing today?
All right.
Good.
Hey, I'm on my way to a golf tournament. So guys, please, forgive me for the way I'm gonna ride. I mean, my pitch is gonna move up and down.
Yeah. Hey man, did you work that CIAA tournament yesterday?
Yeah, I did work some of it, but then with the stuff going on with the country right now, I went on call, so I worked the first half of the games, but I didn't work all of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We was on here, man, just discussing Karl Anthony Towns, how to motivate this guy in his 18th year.
Right.
Want me to tell you how you motivate him? In my opinion,
how you motivate him?
Go out and get the Greek Freak next year.
Yeah,
that's how you motivate him.
The replace him or to play with him?
To play with him in the beginning, replace him in the end.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you really look at it, his game it's to me it's falling off. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really think his game is falling off right now. And I don't know
what comes with that expectation.
Yep. I agree. Say, I don't know if he's complacent or if he think his game when he was in Minnesota was a great game, so he don't have to step his game up anymore. But I'm disappointed in the Knicks right now. I really am.
Yeah. I thought coming back after what happened last year, you expect the ball players to be motivated and more focused, you know what I mean, so they can get over that hump. But
absolutely right.
It seemed like they had a collapse. That's just like good morning, Retro. Man, that's like did y'all hear what the guy DeAndre Ayton said? He not Clint Capella. He said that DeAndre Ayton.
He said who ain't that?
He said he not. They trying to compare him or turn him into Clint Capella. Clint Capella played defense on one end and run to the rim at the other end.
That's why I say he not right. Clint Capella. Clint Capella better. He's not. Yeah, Clint Capella better. Yeah.
I think some of these teams came in this year in the East. They even more motivated. So the Knicks is one of them teams that got a target on them too. So everybody giving them 100%.
Yeah. Because like you said, they was right there last year.
They was right there. Yeah.
They was
and
in
now
the mix.
Yep. And with all this talk about the Knicks coming out this year, now everybody's looking at them. They coming for them, But
right. And for what you said, but look at the teams that were in it last year that's not there this year.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Indiana falling off. So, that should make the Knicks better,
Yeah, but Detroit gotten better. Everybody, getting better.
But Boston don't have their best player though.
Right. But they highly motivated.
Right. Yeah.
But see, going in, you would think like Clayton said, you would think like, okay, the Knicks we got it because like you said, Tatum ain't there, Halliburton not there. So you know what I'm saying? But they didn't see Detroit coming. You know what I'm saying? And then Cleveland went out and made that move with Harden. So they trying to show that, look, man, we trying to make moves. We want to be up in the different things come the end of the season. So
I actually think the road through the East this year is easier than it was last year. Like you said, with Halliburton not being there, Tatum not there, Cleveland to me, I just don't like the Harden and Donovan Mitchell thing. You know what I mean? So you got Boston that's, I don't know. I just think Detroit is the only team, in my opinion, besides Boston. New York should really be in the thick of things. They just fell off.
But they are in the thick of things. They're not out of it.
You think
not yet.
Leading the pack, Mike? You think Detroit leading the pack in the East right now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think in the East, as far as go ahead, Mike.
No. In the East, what?
I said in the East, as far as I don't think the road is easy. I think it's more parity in the East that anybody can come out of. So now you got teams that just battling each other, you know, even though the West got the same thing, but it's on a higher level.
Right.
But you got parity, man.
So, and I think in the West, what you got 5 really good teams in the West, and in the East, I think you got like 3, maybe 4.
Yeah. I think you got 4 in the East, yeah.
Yeah, 4 in the East.
Cleveland, Boston, Detroit, New York.
Yeah.
Everybody
else. Then you got the Wizards.
Really.
You got the Wizards in there. You got the Wizards in there.
Charlotte might make the playoffs this year, man. They say Charlotte might make the playoffs this year.
Charlotte.
Yeah, they the Raptors gonna make it too.
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
But see, if you look at it, the East has been the same way, except for the trade of Indiana for Detroit. And remember, Detroit made a run at the end of last year that woke everybody up on how good they were. Yeah. So I mean, it's the East is as I would say still competitive, but the Knicks should be on top of the East right now, considering what they had last year, considering their players, and considering the coaching. I just think somewhere something fell off where though either the Knicks got too complacent or their stars are like, look, I don't have to play hard until I get to the playoffs.
Now, Steve,
I don't know.
You make a good point because I did think that. I think like, well, maybe the way Coach Brown is coaching them, he's not running them into the ground like Thibodeau did. So he's saving them legs for the playoffs or whatever. You know what I mean? I did think that. I really did. Yeah, I really did.
Because let's remember, last year when the Knicks played in the playoffs, it seemed like they ran out of gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now this year they may be like, look, there's no such thing as home field advantage in the playoffs in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's just where you playing at that night. So they might be just like, look, if we make it in the playoffs and we're in the top 5, I will deal with that to be fresh going into the playoffs.
At least top 4, like you say, that first round they got a home court, and then after that, hey, you know what I mean? Everything up in the air. I agree with that. Though. Yeah, I agree with that. Man. So keep an eye on them. Let's not write them off right now. Keep an eye on them and see. You know what I'm saying? See what happens.
Now, what I'm thinking now, and I'm gonna get off the Knicks subject, but I think Milwaukee may actually start to sit Giannis now, just so he'd be better trade bait for next year.
They should have traded,
and they can have a better lottery pick.
Yeah, they should have traded Giannis, man. Some people came. They don't say who the teams were, of course, because they don't want disgruntled players. But they say, man, they had some good deals on hand, man, and Milwaukee ain't want to pull the trigger, man. I think they should move Giannis because I think Giannis ultimately going to end up getting traded. And you definitely don't want him to get to where he become a free agent and leave, high and dry.
Right.
High and dry.
Where y'all think Giannis would be a good fit at? If it was up to Giannis, like right now it's probably not, but if Giannis, where y'all think he would want to go at? Where they can,
Hey, if Giannis has anything to say about his trade, I think he's going to stay in the East. But I literally, and I hate to say this, I can see him going to the Lakers.
Yeah,
I can see the Lakers giving up on that LeBron money. And going aggressively after Giannis.
Y'all don't see the Knicks? Y'all don't see that?
Nope.
They talk about the Knicks. Yeah, but
I don't see the Knicks.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't see the Knicks giving up anything big for them. Because if you really look at it, the Knicks nucleus right now, they feel as though it's good, except for Townsend, except for Cat. But if he shows improvement in the playoffs, I don't see them giving up a lot for Giannis. Whereas a team like the Lakers, I can see the Lakers giving up the next 3 first-round picks.
Man, I think you trade. Man, I think there's only maybe like 5 players you don't trade for Giannis. I think everybody else is on the board. You know what I'm saying? With the ability to get Giannis, I think there's only like 5 people you don't trade for.
Who the 5 you think?
I think it's like Joker. I think he's one. I think Shea at OKC. I think he's another.
Wemby.
I think Wemby. He's another. That's 3.
Luka.
I don't know.
Right. I don't know about
I don't see the Lakers trading Luka for.
No. I'm not saying they could. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking it's like about 5 players that you definitely just wouldn't even consider trading. And
what about Kevin Durant?
No, because how many years he's been around now?
Yeah, at this stage of his career, I think I might trade KD for So we only got 3. It might only be 3.
But see, I don't see Milwaukee trading for a older veteran because I think they want to get younger and do the same thing that OKC did, building a draft with younger players.
And they should. That's how they should.
Right.
They should.
Yeah.
So I can see somebody giving up 3 first-round picks for Giannis. But whereas though you get them older players, I'll trade you an older player. Let's say someone like Luka and 2 first rounds. That really wouldn't help Milwaukee in the rebuild because the contract that the superstars are going to bring to the team first of all, and then you got to sit on the money. So I think it's a money grab as well as let me get my draft picks up out of there. I mean, let me get draft picks for this guy. I know I'm 6-7 years away. So let me rebuild this way, the OKC way, and let me see what happens with it.
Damn,
I think the best option.
I'm still trying to think. I can't think of nobody else, Clayton. I'm still trying to get the 5.
Yeah, I think that 3 was. I think that was it. That 3 right there. I think that was it.
I'm still trying to get the 5, man. I don't think I can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Giannis to the Knicks probably make the most sense though
That's
because
what I'm thinking.
if you keep Brunt like everybody, like y'all say, everybody else on the Knicks could be replaced, and if you got Brunson beside Giannis, you could just put some role players around him.
But guess what Giannis does for the Lakers? Fix their defensive woes.
He did fix.
Yep.
Without LeBron though, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have Wemby. I mean, you're not gonna have Giannis and LeBron at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Now, if I'm Giannis, I'll go to the Lakers with Luka. As a matter of fact, I play with Luka before I play with Brunson.
I would.
Let me say this for the Knicks though. There's somebody out there that we're not really looking at right now that may be a good fit for the Knicks as well, and may not be that high. And that's Embiid in Philly.
I forgot about
because sooner or later Philly's going to have to get up off that Embiid contract.
They got to.
They're going to have to.
They got to. Yeah. So that might be a good fit for the Knicks as well if they don't have to give up as much for Giannis.
Possibly.
I mean, for Embiid,
I just don't like the way Embiid plays. I just don't like it. He's a great scorer and everything, but yeah.
I'm with you on that, Clayton. I'm with you.
Giannis is high energy and everything.
Yeah.
So look, they said if the playoffs started today, the Sixers and the Knicks would play each other. Do y'all think that the Sixers could upset them?
Yes.
No. As great as a year Tyrese Maxey's having and everything like that, I still would take the Knicks over them.
Yeah, man. That boy Maxey playing out of his mind.
He's playing great. He having a great season.
Yeah. But I think if Embiid
is a little bit healthier than
if Embiid 80-85%, I would say Philly could get him. I
hope it worked out like that, man. I want to see that.
Yeah.
To me, Embiid is not a big game player. He's just not.
Yeah, I agree with
small.
Exactly.
Round one.
That's even if Embiid plays in the moment.
Yeah,
that's been hard. His problem. He haven't been playing in big moments.
Yeah. I seen that dude live, man. and I was so disappointed. I mean, he's a great talent.
Right.
I was disappointed. Seen him live.
Right.
And I was not impressed.
That's the thing.
What big man around the league though? I don't really like. I like the dude Wemby and I like Jalen Durham, but most of the big men around the league though, they don't play in the low post, you know, like that. Anyway.
Joker played all over the court, man. The Joker in the post, he on the wing, he on the perimeter, he in the elbow, in the mid range. Come on, man.
He's not primarily, you know what I'm saying, you get down on a low post player.
Right. But he puts his back to the basket, puts you on his hip.
No, not primarily. Like you say, he all over. Not primarily. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, he's all over. Not primarily. You know what I'm saying? He ain't down on the block all the time. You know what I'm
saying? Now, he will let the matchup dictate how he play. I will give the Joker that. Like, if you put a small man on Joker gonna walk down to that paint, like you say, he's gonna put his back to that basket. But if you got anywhere else, no, he it depends on what the defense do. He let that dictate what he
do. You guys remember what he did to Anthony Davis when he was with the Lakers? What he did to him down low on that block? Y'all don't remember that?
No.
When they eliminated the Lakers and they won that title?
In the interest of full disclosure, man, I don't even remember Anthony Davis being on the court too much, man.
He was on the court against him? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about his whole career.
I know you mean overall. I know what you're saying.
I'm talking about his whole career.
I don't know, man. The Joker do everything to me, but you know.
Where Anthony Davis at now with the Wizards, right?
You know where he at.
He with the Wizards.
I think they already sat him for the year. I think they already.
He's down. He's done. Him and Trey are done for the year.
Yep, and Trey.
Both of them are done for the year. And hold up. And the crazy part about those two trades is that they knew they were going to shut them down. They knew it.
Yeah,
they made the trade.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got no interest in trying to improve their draft position. I mean, you know, to move out a certain spot in the lottery. They have no interest in doing that. Right. They have no interest.
And I'm going to tell you now, I think Anthony Davis will ask for a trade right away.
I think they're going to trade him, man. I think they're going to trade him. Right. I think they're going to trade him.
Hey, who wants Anthony Davis, though? Who you think want Anthony Davis?
That's the greatest question. That's the greatest question of this segment, Mike. Who the hell won?
Who would want him? Man, that is a good question. And I don't have an answer for it.
But that's the crazy part about the NBA. You know somebody's going to pay him.
That's right. That's right, man. You know somebody's going
to pay him.
Somebody will trade for him. Right.
You got so many teams, these like the Wizards, like these teams that's bottom feeders, you know, and they try to sell that to their
fan base.
Their fan base, man. But you know, like the Wizards shouldn't even be charging for Anthony Davis. They should just open the doors and let you sit where you want when you go in there, man. Like, man, no, you're not paying
grab whatever seat you want.
You get to shoot around.
That's messed up.
You're like, hey man, pass me that ball, man.
If you buy courtside seats, you can shoot around with the players.
Look, you know when the game going on, the ball down the other end of the court, you up there shooting on this end before they run. Run back down. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you do that at you can do that at the Wizards game, man. But the rest of
right,
man. That's crazy, man. I don't know. I think they're just trying to trick the fan base in DC, man, with that Anthony Davis.
They trying to convince them that they got a plan for the future. That's what it is. They're trying to convince them that they got a plan for the future.
But hold up, how can you be a struggling franchise and talk about bringing Anthony Davis in as a plan for the future?
He fit their profile. He's struggling. They struggling.
Oh no, man. No, man. Because the thing is, we're gonna bring in Anthony Davis, then we're gonna move him, free up money under the cap, and able to, you know what I'm saying, get some younger players in, almost like what Charlotte doing. You know what I'm saying? But the playoffs, but you know they're a young team. I think the oldest one on Charlotte, like 27 years old or something. I think the oldest player on there, like 27, 28 years old. So You know what I mean? I think a team like the Wizards, they say, well, look, man, we can get an exciting product. And like Mike said, get some fans that, you know what I mean, want to be interested in coming to watch them play. You know what I mean? Maybe that's their strategy. I don't know.
I think I like Charlotte though for the if I think Charlotte go the way that kid go. What's his name? LaMelo. He clean up his shot selection, man. I like Charlotte though, because they tough. They're a tough team and they got some talent down there. But yeah, I think LaMelo, you know, his shot selection.
He's going to always play his whole career. Melo is going to always play like he up Cloverdale. He always going to play like he up Cloverdale, man. He shooting on one leg threes from the corner and all that. You know what I mean? Fading back, you know what I mean? Underhanded alley hoops. That's just how he is,
Well,
man. Really
is both his brothers still in the league?
Lonzo.
The middle brother never really made it. The middle brother never really made it.
I think Lonzo at Golden State now, ain't he?
No, I thought he was in Chicago.
That's what I thought.
No, they got rid of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball ain't on the Bulls no more. No.
I don't know where he at.
I think he was Golden State. The Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Is he hurt?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, man, but he definitely ain't on the Bulls.
Tell me about this ABA and the ABA documentary that y'all saw, right? Because I think when you look at stuff like that, like the documentary of basketball, like where it was back in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, man, the evolution of basketball, man, I think that's what make those documentaries interesting, you know. So what did y'all think about that ABA documentary?
Before you say something, Mike, you of all people need to watch it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see some things in there and you're going to realize that this shit ain't new with the NBA at all.
No, you're right. I already agree with you.
At all.
I'm
even talking about big men shooting threes and all that.
Cycle. It goes in cycles,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've been noticing that it goes in cycles.
Yeah.
And when you speak of cycle, let me just say this real quick. I was watching TV yesterday and I saw the very first commercial about Like Mike in its entirety. And I was like, wow, yo, how long ago this was before Mike even won the championship and anything. His Like Mike commercial was just, you got to watch it. To watch it now, it's like, wow. Huh?
That was the Gatorade commercial, right?
Yeah, the Gatorade commercial in its entirety. Not just the little pension that they do.
Right.
There's a full 45-second commercial Like Mike with the song and everything they had for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to put that out there because I was loving that. But I just had to put that out there real quick.
I got that on a cassette tape. That I got the mix side and the music from that commercial, man. Crazy, yeah.
But getting back to that ABA documentary, man, because man, I mean, I loved it. I really did. Me and Clayton talked early in the week about it. I gave Clayton a call. Yeah. I say, man, and you just the talent that what they didn't have was the financial stability.
Exactly.
That the NBA had. But as far as talent, wasn't no drop off. They might have even more talent than the NBA had.
Oh, didn't they have Dr. Dre? I mean, Dr. Dre died.
But not only Doc, man. There was so many. David Thompson and George Gervin and Rick Barry.
Man, they had ballers over there, man.
They had ballers.
Moses was in the NBA. In the
NBA. Huh?
Like when was it? Like in the 70s?
It was in the early 70s.
Early 70s. All right.
And you know why they ain't had the financial backing? Only because the NBA was first. See, George Mikan left. He retired from the NBA and he started that league. So the NBA had a monopoly on the TV money. So the ABA couldn't get that national TV money. They got local money.
They couldn't.
That's why the NBA had more. Yep. They had a grip hold on it, but when they started playing, see, the ABA was smart, man. And a lot of these things that we see now, underclassmen coming into the league underage, and Moses coming into the league from high school, the ABA started all that.
Yep.
And it was because they had to get talent. They couldn't. Everybody wanted to go to the NBA, but in order to get talent, NBA had these rules.
Right.
Where the ABA was like, fuck them rules.
Come on. Yeah, come on.
If you're 18, the kids should be able to earn a living. So they went after Spencer Haywood. I didn't even know Spencer Haywood was the first guy to go hardship or underclassmen. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
He was a monster. Huh?
Guy ever. Yeah, the first
guy.
Yeah,
he was a monster. And then Moses come back. He went pro right into the ABA.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, and they had it all. But the thing I loved the most, what was really revealing was when George Mikan, remember we was talking about that Tunk, when he withheld that $1 million from Kareem.
Explain it to him, Clay. Explain it to him.
They had Kareem ready to go because he wanted to play in New York. They had him. The whole team, all the owners put together and they got up $1 million. They showed the check. They had $1 million check. George Mikan sit down. Now, Kareem told both leagues, the NBA and the ABA, I'm going to take one offer from both of y'all and decide. I'm going to keep my word on this.
That's right.
These dudes were supposed to sit down and show Kareem the $1 million check. He never presented the $1 million check to Kareem.
Who, the ABA or the NBA?
George Mikan did, the ABA.
George Mikan.
He held on to that check.
He was the commissioner. He was the
commissioner. Yes. And then Milwaukee's offer wound up beating theirs.
When he met with Kareem, because they had the team in New York, it was all set. All the owners pooled their money. They said, we get Kareem, still Lou Alcindor at the time. They said, we get Kareem, man, this is going to elevate us to where it's even ground with the NBA. If we get him, right?
Did they say why Mikan ain't do it, why he ain't present the check, though?
Tell him, Clay.
Well, they got a bullshit excuse on there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest with you. And the way it felt, he didn't want to give that black boy that money. Point blank. During those times.
Yep.
That was unprecedented.
Yep.
He come from the old NBA.
$1 million check. That's what it comes down to.
That's what come to. He didn't want to give Kareem that money.
Yeah. Then he said, I ain't think Kareem would or some shit. Like, what are you talking about?
He was like, I don't think he would have really did it and all this nonsense.
Hey,
Kareem
Mike,
said, I'm a man of my word.
Mike, right after that, his ass was gone.
Gone in Milwaukee.
George Mikan was gone.
And I think some of it was envy. George Mikan envied him because he was a big man. Here it is, this guy, and the owners doing all this for this guy, and he's African American, he's black or whatever. They didn't say that, but that's the feeling I got, especially when you couple it with the early 70s.
And Mike, soon as he botched that, not long after he was out of there.
They got his ass up out of here. Yes.
Not long after that, man. They got him out there, man. And the thing about it, they asked him, why didn't you give him the check?
Why didn't you give him the check?
Why didn't you give it to him?
Yeah.
Because look, they were saying Kareem from New York. He went to UCLA. They said, man, he didn't want to go to the Midwest in Milwaukee because Milwaukee
did not want to be in the Midwest.
Nope. He didn't want to go to no man. We can get him. We can send him, give him to the team in New York. That's gonna elevate the whole league. That's gonna elevate the whole league, man. And they botched that, man. They botched that.
They botched that. I'm gonna tell you another thing that opened my eyes, right? This whole merge, it was not a merge. The NBA and the ABA didn't merge. That shit was a hostile takeover. And I'm going to tell you why. Yes, because they had the monopoly on the TV money. The ABA could no longer survive on that local TV money. They needed to merge. So what happened was teams started folding. So the NBA forced them into submission, and then they made 4 teams pay their way into the NBA. They had to pay $3 million, and they had to forfeit the TV money for 5 years.
Oh, so they penalized.
That was not a merger, huh?
They penalized them then.
For the most, they had them where they wanted them. And the only reason they selected those 4 teams because of the talent that was on those 4 teams. San Antonio had Iceman.
Right.
The Nets had Dr. J.
Yeah.
Then Denver had David Thompson. And then the Indiana team, they was just great quality players.
What George McGinnis? Was George McGinnis on the Indiana team?
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
George McGinnis was on the Indiana team. Right.
And then the best team, one of the best teams in the league, the Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah.
The Bulls blocked them.
Yeah.
They blocked them because they had Artis Gilmore.
Yep.
And the Bulls had the first pick.
And they wanted Artis.
They wanted Artis Gilmore. And I don't think they wanted that woman in the league. So that's another thing they started. The ABA was the first league to have a woman run the team, the Kentucky Colonels. She turned them around. Like, they was a good team, but the attendance was poor. That woman took over, man. The house was packed. They wound up with,
I'm gonna let you finish your point, but I'm gonna jump in.
They wound up winning a championship. So now you got this woman running this franchise. Them old heads in the NBA, they wasn't having that. She ain't coming over here.
You had, one Red Auerbach, he was one of the ones that was most vocal and most against the ABA. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the ones that was against it. You know what I mean? Say the players didn't stack up, but when they played each other, the ABA guys used to beat them.
They used to beat them.
Yeah, they used to beat them. The ABA got, but they said they had Clyde Frazier on there talking about, man, we didn't have nothing to prove. We wasn't playing hard. Rick Barry said, no, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
No, that's bullshit. Because and Clyde, my man, I like Clyde, but I can't ride with him on that, because if you want to prove that I'm better than you, I'm gonna prove that you don't belong in the NBA. I'm gonna prove that we are the superior league. So you don't sit up there and say, nah, man, we ain't had nothing to prove. Nah, I ain't buying that at all. And
Rick Barry stopped the tape. And he said, you see how hard this dude running to block the shot?
Dave Bing running back.
Dave Bing, don't tell me no shit about they ain't playing hard. Rick Barry, I didn't know Rick Barry was that goddamn swagged out and arrogant, man.
Shit.
He
averaged like 35, 38 in Miami. I think he always been a scorer. You know what I'm saying? He always been a scorer.
And that was the first player they stole from the NBA. They stole Rick Barry from Golden State.
Remember, the NBA sued him. Remember the NBA sued him, and he had to sit out a whole basketball season. Sit out a whole basketball season before he was able to play.
No, that was interesting. And the last thing that really got to my heart was them players not having any. They kept promising the ABA players after the league folded that they would have some type of pension, and they didn't. And it was the one guy, Sam Smith. He was getting ready to pass away. He was real ill and sick, and his kid said, man, he was so pissed off. He said, man, I should take a picture of you and post it and send it, to show the discrepancy and show how it's bullshit. Y'all ain't getting a pension. And Sam Smith said, go ahead and take it. And then he said, well, you don't look that well. It wouldn't be a favorable picture. He said, man, take it. I'll do anything to help them guys. So they took a picture of him on his deathbed with the ABA basketball. That picture went viral. Yeah. And it wound up eventually forcing the NBA to kind of come up with a pension plan for them guys, huh?
I always wonder, what's the name, right? Why they never took the ABA stats and brought them over to the NBA, right? Now, Major League Baseball just did that
with the Negro League.
Right. They did that with the NBA. Because if you do that, Doc is a 30,000 point scorer. If you add his ABA stats in, he done scored 30,000 points. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's the NBA's arrogance, man. They always wanted to look at that league like it was inferior.
That's right.
Yeah. And one last deal was real dope too. That the guys, them two young guys that own the St. Louis Spirits, they were smart.
Right.
So they knew, because they had this thing where the owners, it was all a partnership. Yep. So he said, as these teams folded and they went to the NBA, he got wronged by his partners. So he got a contract developed. He made them pay a penalty. They had to pay a percentage of the TV money.
Man, killed him, Mike.
Killed the contract.
Oh, man, it was crazy.
No matter how much they grow,
Yeah, they get and it was a big percentage too, wasn't it?
It was a nice percentage because they wound up.
Nice percentage, but they had to buy them out. The NBA had to buy them out.
They had to buy them out eventually. That was the greatest. They said that was the greatest deal ever made. These dudes made $800 million not owning one NBA team.
Yep, sure did.
Yep,
sure did.
and they bought their team for $3 million, man.
Yep. Yep. And he like, we want percentage of the TV rights. And,
and that was smart.
Did right, but you had no idea it was going to grow to what it has become. Man, like, look, man, we got to, you know, we got to buy y'all out of this. Y'all killing it. And like you say, they don't even have a dog in the fight. They
didn't have a dog in the fight. Even Mark Cuban had to applaud that contract. He's like, that's a great deal. He said, cost me a lot of money, but that was a great deal. Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this real quick though. Didn't in the ABA, didn't Dr. J have? I know he had one championship, but didn't he have more? I thought he had two. Okay.
Was it two?
He won two.
Oh, I thought it was three. Yeah.
Was it three? It might have been. I know he won the very last one ever played.
And then he won like 3 MVPs over there or something too. I think.
But I know they lost one to because they got bumped by that team.
In
the
game
Spirits.
7, I think.
St. Louis bumped them.
Yeah, I think, But Mike, man, you saw Doc, man. Doc was swagged out, man. Doc coming there with the flat the fro, you know what I mean? The wide collar, man. Doc was just, you want to talk about somebody, man, just cool, personified, man.
Man,
Doc, man. You know what I'm saying? Doc was him back then.
Doc was him. Doc was him. And you know what I loved about him?
Yeah.
This dude he played for the Nets. And the league was in trouble. He walked to San Antonio. He went to the office of the San Antonio guy, and he said, "What do I need to do to save this league?"
Yeah,
because Doc was sought after. He could have went to the NBA. He could have did anything he wanted.
Right.
He said, "What do I need to do to help save this
wide
league?"
open play. And Mike, when they showed him, like Clay was saying, you see them playing back then, Mike. That's how they play now.
That's how they play now.
You know, shooting bombs, man, and 3-pointers and stuff that they was doing. Play now, man. Man, fast breaking. See, the NBA didn't play like that.
They ain't play like that.
The court, you know what I mean? Chest pass, bounce pass, this, that. Man, the NBA, we running. You know what I'm saying? We dunking, running.
The one difference I give the ABA, a little bit more defense, a lot more defense. But I would say that Charles Barkley, and all those guys that keep poo-pooing on the players of today, and even players like myself and people like us, you celebrate the old guard, right? But you fail to see that the ABA and the old guard was playing the same way, and you celebrate them. But you shit on these young guys. And I can understand the lack of defense. I get it, but
and man, what's the name, man? George Gervin was such a goddamn bucket, man. George, man, they were showing highlights of this dude, Mike, man. Like, man, that's crazy, man.
They ain't think he could hang because he was so slim.
Right.
They couldn't stop him.
You know what I'm saying? Him and Doc was on the same team for a couple seasons. Can you believe that? Him and Doc was on the same team. Matter of fact, in his early years, he gave Doc a lot of credit for Doc giving him the confidence. Doc was like, go out there and do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and do your thing, you know? They showed Bobby Jones. Remember what Doc said about Bobby Jones, man? He like, man, I love Bobby Jones. But man,
I love him.
But it could be your mother out there.
It could be your mother out there. She gets it.
It could be your mother out there, man. You got to go at him. You know what I mean?
I highly recommend it. Real basketball, people that love basketball, man.
Right.
Thanks for recommending that, Tom. That was a great watch for me.
My father and my uncle told me. You know what I'm saying? They was together, and Pop called me, said, "Lo, you gotta check out this thing, man." You know what I'm saying? He said, "Man, Durham watching it now." I said, "All right," you know what I'm saying? And I checked it out. When I checked it out, I meant to say something last week on the podcast, but I sent the text afterwards. Clayton chimed in. I don't know what day that was, Clayton. I don't know if it was Tuesday, Wednesday, but you chimed.
I don't know, but I know I watched the first two when I chimed in with you, but then I wound up watching the last two.
And I called
that thing, man. And the NBA is so arrogant, but at the same time, they shrewd business people. They are shrewd.
And Clayton, man, you had shooters down, man. You had shooters, man.
Yes.
Man, they had the whole package, man. They had the whole package down at ABA, man. But like you say, no one got to see it unless you was local.
Unless you was local.
You wouldn't see them. You know what I mean? So they came up with the 3-pointer to add excitement to the game. And look what that 3-point shot has done, you know what I mean, to the NBA.
Revolutionized basketball in the sense.
There ain't no question about it. There ain't no question.
And the dunk contest, all those things they brought to it, man.
That came from the ABA too.
Yes. The very first dunk contest was George Gervin, Dr. J, David Thompson, Artist Gilmore, man, and Doc took the show. Because David Thompson was doing some shit now. But Doc took the show. He came from the foul line, set that place in a frenzy, man. It was fun to watch, man. It was
the 360 shit. You right, Clay. You right.
Oh, David Thompson was serious, man. He was serious too.
You know, that's who brought Mike into who introduced Mike to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, David Thompson. We loved him.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
So Mike. I don't know. You got prom? I don't have prom. I got this app. I got this app. I put it in.
Okay.
So that's where it's on Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
Okay, all right.
That's all I thought about, man. Was you, Mike? Thought about you, man. I said, Mike need to watch this.
Like you said, if you're just a basketball fan, you need to check it out.
Absolutely. That's the premise.
You need to check it out, man, because it's worth it. It's worth the watch. It's worth the watch. Clayton, I didn't know it was as long as it was. I know
4 episodes, and they all like over an hour or so.
Yeah. Man. But you really get the ins and outs, the behind the scenes. And what they was going through to try to survive financially. What they was going through, because we talked about my man Connie Hawkins. Remember, he got in trouble in school with some bullshit and a gambling scandal. So the NBA ain't even mess with him.
They ain't mess with him. He went to the NBA.
So the ABA like, come on. Gave him platform because he had to play with the Globetrotters just to earn a living. Remember, Clay? He had to go to the Globetrotters just to earn a living, and then the ABA like, come on, but he wound up suing the NBA and won. But he was able to go. He voted. He bounced.
He bounced. He said, "Damn all that, I'm going to."
He went to the ABA. And then he went to Phoenix, right? But that wasn't prime. That wasn't prime Connie Hawkins, though. You know what I'm saying?
And the greatest thing about the documentary, it illustrates where the real money comes from. TV. It does not come from these stands. It can say TV deals is where the money comes from.
That's true to this day, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Always have.
Streaming, and now it's streaming. The internet, but that's where the big money at. This sponsorship and these TV and this stuff.
Barkley was saying, I don't know if y'all have this issue. I don't, because I don't have every streaming platform or whatever. Charles Barkley say, man, he have a hard time. I don't know if he's saying him personally or just like the average fan have a hard time finding the games because they're on so many different streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? So they say, man, fans have all. You don't know if it's on PKI. You don't know if it's on ABC, ESPN. You don't know where to find all these games at, man. And he said that's kind of like the fan is not really as engaged or not really as tuned in, even though they got more ways to watch the game. They say fans are not as tuned in as they once were. What you think, Clay?
I disagree with Barkley on that. I think fans are not as engaged is because our attention span no more. It's not about sitting through all that. You can just go on YouTube. You can go on anything. You can get on TikTok. You can see clips. You can see highlights. And people are more in tune to that as opposed to sitting and watching the whole game, except when the playoffs start. And also, Barkley's starting to really remind me of somebody that just want to poo-poo on everything. You know what I mean? And he's also representing ESPN. ESPN carries NBA games. Yeah. So to make a point like that is to try to maybe lure people into watching them on ESPN, ABC, stuff like that. So I don't really agree with because they don't know where to go, because you do know where to go. Everybody got these streaming apps. So many millions and billions of people got Peacock and Netflix and Hulu and all this other stuff. So people can find it. When you really want to watch something, you know where to go and you know how to find it, especially with Google. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with that. I just think it's the times we live in, and everything is moving so quickly now. So people just want to see what they want to see and go to something else. And also our focus is divided. We're fragmented in a sense because we're trying to keep up with everything. You know what I mean? People are trying to keep up with everything.
I agree with you 100% on that. I agree with you. And that's why it seems like the days, the weeks, the months, the years go by faster because, you know what I'm saying, we always moving. We always moving to the next thing. And we're not really sitting and absorbing, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. So it seems like everything is moving at a breakneck pace. So no, I definitely agree with that. But as far as the streaming stuff though, man, I think he got a point in a sense though, Clayton, because you gotta have almost like, I think they say like 4 different streaming services or something. If you want to catch every game, you know what I mean? If you want to catch every game that's being shown, you gotta have like 4 or 5 different streaming services. You know what I'm saying? Because some might cover some might cover this, some might cover that, you know.
But let me ask you something. Do TNT still show NBA games? Do TBS still show NBA games? So to me, it just sounds like ABC, ESPN got them,
right?
And NBC got them.
Yeah. But that's
NBC is Peacock,
right? Yeah. But that's like what you're saying is true, but you're not seeing every game. Like I'm saying, if you wanted to watch, like you're gonna get the nationally televised game on ESPN, like what they're showing on their platform, right? But it might be another game going on that ESPN is not showing. You know,
well, that's on the NBA League Pass.
The League
Pass.
Pass.
I don't think it's another streaming service now.
Right.
Netflix picked up the NFL for Christmas to try to compete with the NBA on Christmas, but the NBA on Christmas is on ABC, the major network, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that you either get the NBA League Pass, Peacock, or ESPN.
Yeah.
So
right.
So I think I agree, because it's just like we had 3 networks: ABC, NBC, and CBS. So now you still got 3 networks, but they just different networks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So I don't think all the stream apps got stuff. Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting though, but Barkley turning into a big poo-pooer.
He is. Get off my lawn. He that.
And I love him. Yeah.
Diesel right. He might not be.
He falling into that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Kenny Smith keep a clear head on.
He always seemed to be the one that's pretty much level-headed,
open-minded,
and balanced and stuff like that, man. But
get them guys a fair shake, man.
Yeah, man. But before I go, man, we got to talk about this Floyd Pacquiao thing, man. We got to talk about this now. I was talking to D'Angelo, man, my oldest, yesterday, right? And I remembered it once he brought it up. Now, he said, remember a few years ago when he had his split with Floyd, Tank was saying Floyd was broke, right? Floyd was broke because Floyd had gambling debts over there in Saudi Arabia. And everybody said, oh, man, you crazy. Floyd ain't broke, whatever. And he was like, man, Floyd broke. He owed them guys all this money because he been gambling. They said, y'all think he live over there? They're like, no. They like, damn, they hold him hostage. Like, you can't leave until we get our bread. So now, fast forward, I guess maybe like 7 years, 8 years. I don't know how long ago that was. And now he's, talking about coming back into the ring, fighting Pacquiao and things like that. For the record, man, I hope he get his ass whipped. Because he need his ass whipped, right? Floyd type dude, man, y'all know it. I ain't telling you nothing you don't know. Walk around with duffel bags full of money, man. And that's why financial literacy, man, is so important. Now,
Mm.
we can all, make investment and what I'm saying, lose money making investments and things like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, man, recklessness, man, and overextending. Floyd had like a car, one of them homes that he was living with in Las Vegas. Floyd had like man, his house damn near looked like CarMax.
Mm.
He had all these cars out there, and I mean, he had 5 or 6 white Lamborghinis. Then he had 5 or 6 blue Lamborghinis. Then he had 5 or 6 white Rolls Royces. 5 or 6, and I'm like, forget that part. You got to pay somebody to maintain those. You got to pay somebody to make sure they running. You got to pay somebody to make sure they clean. Just the regular maintenance on that stuff, man, that comes with that.
Mm.
And then they showed a picture of him. He was sitting at a table, like a big old dining room table. It was filled with jewelry. I mean, necklace and bracelet and watches, gold and diamonds, platinum, all this, right? He's sitting at the head of the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, and they say he's supposed to be $34 million in debt and things like that, right? And I'm like, damn, Floyd, now you almost 50. Now you got to come back to fight after making all this money. Y'all might have seen a video this a couple months ago. He was in New York, sitting courtside. Jay-Z might have been a couple feet from him or whatever. And he pulled out a whole bunch of money to pay somebody, I guess whoever be coming around with the food and drinks. But he pulled out all this bread to pay him. And he trying to impress Jay-Z. I say, no, he won't. Floyd always been that way. He's not trying to impress Jay-Z because he know Jay-Z is not impressed with that.
Right.
But somebody else would be.
Right.
And he's always been that way. He's always been real, the money team, real flamboyant, going overseas to Italy to the Fendi store and things, dropping, hundreds of thousands of dollars and buying his girl, his lady at the time, them Birkin bags, and they $50,000-$75,000 a piece. You know what I'm saying?
And he always makes sure his camera's rolling. But go ahead.
Right. Make sure we doing in front of the cameras, man, and
doing it for the gram and all that stuff.
Yeah, for you to come back, man, and have to fight, man. Man, that's just crazy, man. And it's supposed to be on YouTube, not YouTube.
Netflix.
Because Clayton, they know no one's gonna pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know as much about Manny, but he seemed to be in the same boat where he needs.
Oh, yeah, I'm great bring that up.
He's in the same boat, man.
Yeah.
Now, they fighting that when they said they fought 11 years ago or something like that. That's when they fought. So but, man, it's just crazy, man.
The first time though, Floyd wouldn't fight Manny because he thought Manny was doping up and cheating, right? Now he don't care what Manny doing.
He don't care what he taking. Yeah, he don't care what he taking now. You know what I mean? You can be taking, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You know what I mean? You can be taking whatever. Yeah, I gotta get this bread. And that's why they put it on Netflix. So they know ain't nobody gonna spend no obscene amounts of money for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I definitely agree with you, man. That financial literacy is just so important because even if you carry yourself like Floyd, you can end up broke, or if you carry yourself like Manny, you can end up broke, right? So, like, people got to find out like what's the, you know what I mean? Like, what's the way to manage your money, man? Because Floyd definitely he a consumer. You know what I mean? Buying this, buying that, and
Right.
But
one of the ultimate consumers. You know what I'm saying? One of the ultimate consumers. And then I remember doing the interview. He was with his mom, and he like, "Why get one car when you can get 5?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's right." He said, "Why get 5 when you can get 15?" She like, "Yeah, that's right." He said, "Why get one house when you can have 3?" You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn. You know,
that was his financial advice, huh?
Right.
That's the thing, man. With a lot of us, a lot of people, I should say, that come from, less humble beginnings and stuff like that. It creates a condition.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that money and being able to obtain all these things is going to heal you of that condition, but it can't. All it does is it exasperates the condition.
Absolutely.
And so what I wish for Floyd, I wish Floyd could really heal his brokenness, because a person that feel like putting these type of things on display is what gives him his validation. It just tells me that someone's feeling internally they aren't whole and they broken.
Yeah, they feeling inadequate some way. Yeah, I mean,
they feeling inadequate in some way.
Yeah.
So that's my only. I'm not judging him what he's doing. I'm praying for him in his condition that he can heal and really come into self. So he realized that none of those things don't really give him the joy that he's looking for. The joy comes from when you connect to self, and truly connect to that. So that's my only take on Floyd and the way he's demonstrating things. It's a young man that came up with less. He's broken, and everything is money, material money, material women, money,
And you think that stuff will make you feel better until after you get it.
It can't.
And then, you know what I mean? Like he said, well, buy 5 cars. Well, 5 cars don't make me feel better. I buy 10. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I you know what I mean? I got
one of the great
$20 million in jewelry. Now that don't make me feel better. I'm gonna buy another $10 million in jewelry.
People can say what they want about Mike Tyson, right? But one of the greatest things he ever said was, I wish everybody could have all the money in the world that they want so they can see that it's not the money.
Yeah. I remember him saying that. Yeah.
I just think that in my humble opinion, because I never had,
Right.
From what I see though, the way everything is set up, that no matter how much money you get, you always going to have to work. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you make $100,000 a year to maintain that tax bracket, you're gonna have to work whatever it took for you to get to that tax bracket. If you're making the kind of money that Floyd made, in order to maintain that, you're gonna have to, like what Floyd doing now. He coming back to fight, and that's how I think it's always set up. So if you got somebody like Pacquiao, even Pacquiao, like with the kind of money that he make, he living a certain lifestyle, right? Because the fighting provided that lifestyle. It's just like when you retire from your job. Everybody who retire from their job, their lifestyle changes. You know what I mean? Because you're not working like that no more. So when you see Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and those guys, they still working. And that's how money is set up. That you have to always work if you want to maintain that lifestyle.
Well, money can compound. You can compound interest. And some people don't. They don't live lavish like that. They're not driven by that. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, Mike, but it's a lot of people that they let that their money is accruing interest, and they kind of live off that, and they keep a simple lifestyle. They feel more happy with being secure, knowing that they got a roof over their food on, and they can do things, as opposed to trying to have all the luxuries in the world, so to speak. So I understand what you're saying, but I just don't. Huh?
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you good. You good.
I was watching this documentary one time, and it was about an old guy that got money in oil, right? Down in Texas. He was an old man, right? And he set up a living trust for his children, right? Where his grown children, I mean, they were married and everything. He had 4 daughters. They was married and everything, right? But they each was getting $25,000 a month from this living trust that he had, right? Now, they were saying the way he lived, he took expensive vacations and, had a nice home, had a vacation home. All that was paid for. But he still, however he set that trust up, where, like I say, his daughters was grown and married and had kids and things like that. And they were still collecting $25,000 each a month.
Off the trust.
Off the trust. So I'm like, how can a guy that, I don't know how much money he was worth or anything like that, like that, set up future generations? You know what I'm saying? You set up future generations that's coming behind you, that you wouldn't think that's a lot of bread. You know what I mean? $100,000 a month, nah, that ain't that much. But, is able to sustain his family. Now his daughters, of course, they had to work and things like that. You know what I mean?
But they still was getting this money coming in.
Exactly. And I say, man, that's where that financial literacy, that's what I was talking about.
That's a question, though. Let me ask y'all this, right? All right. So when money compounds, right, it has to have a way of regenerating, right? Like that's just like if you go into the well, eventually that well has to be replenished from another source, right? So when you think about money, that's why I'm saying when you think about money, I think it's the same way. You just can't say, all right, well, I'm gonna put X amount of millions of dollars in a bank and let that interest compound, right? Because if it was like that for everybody, whereas though that interest could compound, then like Floyd would have done that, Pacquiao would have done that.
Not in the bank, though, Mike. Not in the bank. Not in the bank. I mean,
however the money compound, or however it got to be a source. Like that money has to be. All right. So when take for instance those. What's the guy name? The Rockefeller family, right? And so they have trust and all that stuff set up for their family. So also do the people, what are they called? The Waltons. They got trust and all that stuff set up for their families. Also, they still connected to oil. So they still, they still have business interests that's bringing in billions of dollars, BP oil, and all that stuff. That's still connected to their family, among some other stuff that's connected. Same thing with the Waltons, right? Those kids still have those stores that are generating income. But I don't think, from what I can see, it just don't look like you can get $100 million like Floyd, or $1 billion like Floyd, and sit it in some type of situation where it say, all right, I just want this to compound.
Not if you living like, you know what I mean?
You can't. Right. So the source is the money, and the interest is what's compounded. Like you compound the interest, but your lifestyle has to be where you're not dipping into the actual source of it all. You just got to be able to live off of what's being generated from the money.
Like Richard Pryor say, you know what I mean? Sniff the interest. You know what I mean?
Right. My friend Ron Dietrich did that. He created that. And it's like you don't constantly keep, dipping in. You put yourself on a budget. So let's say, for instance, you work a job and you make $100,000 a year. Let's say you got this money source that's compounding interest and is able to generate you $100,000 a year. That's your budget, not the whole thing.
Right.
So that's when you keep a stream of income coming in.
Right. Well, see, Floyd not fighting, but he's still spending like.
Right. You know what I mean? Spending and gambling. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know his portfolio. I don't know his finances, his investment. I don't know all that.
Right.
But
I think the way money work, man, I think you always gotta have like that income, like regenerating itself. So
the money does regenerate the income
from the interest.
The money regenerates it. Yeah.
So listen, Mike, this the question I got for you, right?
I'm gonna tell you another one, Mike, but go ahead, Tom.
No. I'm saying, like, if you Floyd and you a lot of Floyd shit seem to be liquid. You know what I'm saying? Like money in hand. You understand? Now I know they say he had some skyscrapers built somewhere over, across the country, somewhere in the country, right? But he got that bad habit of that gambling thing, right? So that's at a lot. And Floyd ain't gambling, you know what I mean, $100, $200. He gambling, you know what I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? So you gotta, if you're not doing that, just to maintain what he has, because I know what you're saying, you gotta dump it on that lifestyle. You gotta take it down. If you retire, you gotta get rid of some of that stuff. You can't have all that, because just the stuff to maintain all them damn cars and all that stuff. I say cars because I'm like a gearhead. I like cars myself, but you know what I'm saying? Just to maintain that, you got to keep a couple people on the payroll just to maintain them. Because you know what I'm saying? So that's just a salary you're paying them. You know what I'm saying? That's coming out of that. So if you retire and you got $500 million liquid, you can live off that if your lifestyle changes. And that's on any scale, really. You know what I'm saying? That's on any scale. If everything is paid for, and all you got to do basically is eat and keep the lights on,
and taxes.
be okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should be all right with $500 million in the bank. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I think like when you think about, even if you look at Charles Barkley, he got a gambling habit. Mike Jordan got a gambling habit, but those guys still work. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jordan still, they say what he make $100 million a year off of those, you know. And so I think you got to work, man, for the.
Well, if you want to maintain, they working to maintain their lavish lifestyle. I get that. Yeah. What I'm saying is, you got some stock, Mike, that'll pay you quarterly dividends, right? People put their money in the bank. The bank might pay you 1-2% on your money. You got stocks that'll pay you 4% quarterly dividends. The stock might not go all crazy, but those dividends is making your money compound. So now you're looking at 12% interest on your money annually because you're getting it 4 times. It's different strategies you use, but the money itself is the source. You plug that into the market or to whatever, and that's generating more money. You have to be smart enough not to try to live this ridiculous. What I'm saying is interest can be just as much as a regular paying job can be. $100,000, $50,000, $60,000. It can be that, but you have to live off that as opposed to trying to be so lavish. That's just my opinion. But
well, it was a guy that I used to work with. His name was Robert Cole.
Yeah.
And y'all probably heard him, or at least heard of his family. Merlin honored his great uncle or somebody like that with Cole Fieldhouse, right? So Robert Cole and the Cole family own a lot of real estate around Maryland. And the guy that used to work with me, his name was RC, Robert Cole. I don't know if he was like the 3rd or the 4th, but he used to get, because they own so much property and his uncle passed, he used to get, I think every quarter, he used to get like, I think he said like $30,000. And they still had property. So the property that they had, that's what they did. He was living off of that $30,000. He wouldn't touch the property because, like you said, the property is what's generating. That property is what was generating his income, and he collect that interest or whatever, or the dividend that came from that, right? And so that's what I'm saying. So like now, once the property started to depreciate, and they had to sell off some of the properties and stuff like that, I don't know, man. I just think
you got to do something with that money. I mean, why was the property depreciating in the first place?
Right.
I mean, because everything.
No,
like when you own real estate, like after a certain amount of years, you got to put money into to upkeep it and all of that stuff. You just can't buy a house and just sit it there and say, all right.
Well, that's Clayton's point. Yeah, that's his point. Why were they letting it depreciate? You know what I'm saying?
You got to reinvest in it. And so that's my point. You have to replenish that source where your money is coming from.
Yeah.
Right?
So guess what he didn't have to do? Guess what he didn't have to do? Every quarter when he get that $30,000, he didn't always have to use that up. He could have used some of that to reinvest, to keep the property up standing and stuff. I mean, I don't know how involved he was with the real estate aspect of it.
Right.
But you can't just, that's all I'm saying. The mindset has to change. That's all I'm saying. It's like, you'd be surprised, Mike, how many people out here aren't working and making boatloads of money.
Yeah, you need to, man, introduce me to a couple of them, man, for sure. I need to holler at them, boy, for sure.
Well, the thing is, we come out, right? We come out behind the 8 ball already. So, it's hard for us sometimes it's hard for people to get a little cushion to start investing, right? And then you got to have patience with it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be willing to take a little aside and keep feeding that beast that beast can feed you. But, that's why I like what you said, teaching the mindset. Right. But, and sometimes you can even teach this stuff. But if a person has a condition within them, they can know what to do and still can't do it.
That's right.
Because of the condition. So,
and they had
it's tough.
The EPMD dude, Eric Sermon.
Eric Sermon.
Eric Sermon says something about royalties or something that he get every quarter. He gets 250,000.
For real?
Yeah, 250,000. Now that's $1 million. Now $1 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, to do nothing. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? $1 million a year to do nothing. You know what I mean? 250 every quarter.
Yep. He said he was investing his money and stuff. He owned his pub and all that. But he said he make the money now because he want to.
Yeah.
He don't have to, but he also still sees a business in it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it just depends on how you.
And that's not obscene amounts of money when you compare it to Floyd, but that's enough to sustain you.
Yes.
You know, that's enough to sustain you where you living okay. Where you're living okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But the bigger the ticket item, the more money you're gonna need to maintain that item.
Exactly. So Floyd had a private jet, right?
All that shit.
He had a pilot, right? So just to store it, to fuel it, to maintain it, to pay the pilot, to pay the call 24/7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're paying somebody's lifestyle. So that pilot might be getting 250,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To maintain that private jet a year, just the maintenance on it, that might be a couple $100,000. To store it in a hangar, that might be another $100,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one entity. But like Mike say, you being a consumer, that's just one entity of it. You know? Yeah, man. Yeah. So I just thought that was real interesting, man. But yeah, when D'Angelo was telling me last night, he like, man, Tank said that, and when he said it, I remember being one of the ones, oh man, Tank hate, man, ain't no motherfucker wait for it. I remember saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Money can go. Yeah.
I remember saying it. And then I start thinking like, when he was over there in Dubai, and they was like, nah, man, you owe these debts. You can't leave. They wouldn't even give him like permission to leave. Like, no, you got to fix this before you leave the country type thing. And people had Floyd living over there. Well, they had him, bragged up somewhere nicer than where the hell I live. But you know what I'm saying? He wasn't in no jail cell, but anything like that. But they're like, no, you got to fix this. So Tank said that, but everybody thought Tank, myself included, everybody, oh man, Tank hating on Floyd, whatever. But it makes a lot of sense now. Makes a lot of sense.
So let me see. Welcome Tom to the chat.
What's up, Tom?
Tom said Floyd Mayweather had the wrong people around. There was a lot of takers, and takers take nobody helping him, telling him stop spending so much money. Yeah, that's true. When you got
Tom, that's it, 100%, man. Most guys, when you're the money man, no one is going to come because you're benefiting from it. So no one is going to say, oh, man, you need to stop spending because you're one of the people he's spending it on. Lack of a better example, you're getting the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're getting the crumbs. You're traveling with them. You're getting, cars. You're getting clothes. You're getting jewelry. You know what I mean? Just by hanging out with them. So ain't nobody going to tell him, oh, man, stop doing that because you get cut up.
And it goes back to his emptiness. He feel like he need all that around him. To feel validated. That's crazy to me. I'm not saying this is what it looks like to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even if people tell him stop spending, you got to fix that condition. You have to.
That's just like what the guy, MC Hammer, had like 50 people on his payroll doing.
Yep.
I understand sometimes you want to give people employment. You want to help them out. That's beautiful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you also have to understand, it's got to come from a real place. Like to me, Muhammad Ali, he ain't make all that money and stuff like that. But to me, he was grounded in self. He was grounded in self. So to me, Ali wasn't about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though he fought late in his career, he took certain deals. He was taking those deals because it was pushing a mission to some degree. You know what I mean? And to me, that's what Floyd needs to get in touch with. He needs to get in touch with his inner self, his higher self, God, or something that's going to allow him to see a bigger picture outside all these material things, and something that's going to really, really bring him joy. And that shit ain't going to do it. Even if he come back from this, get some money. If he don't fix himself, he gonna be in the same situation again.
He gonna need to definitely downsize. He need to get rid of all those cars, those jets, and all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, when you try to liquidate that stuff, you can't. You take a loss if it's not like paid for.
That's exactly right, Tom. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
If you don't want to fly out, you can charter a plane. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have a private jet. You can charter a plane where it just be you on it. You know what I'm saying? You can charter a plane where it's just you on it. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, have a private jet and, paying a pilot. No, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I heard the fuel for them things is ridiculous.
I heard it was crazy
man. Just the storage, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to store it at a hangar, man. You got to have somebody maintain it. Make sure it's good to go. Yeah, man, it's just a lot.
That's it right there. Yeah. What's my man just said? What my man just said?
Hammers, let me see. 486, they just said Floyd needs external validation, like you guys stated. He's one of the best boxers to ever do it.
Yep.
But he is insecure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
That's 100.
Nail on the head with that. I think he hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I swear, man. You'd be surprised what you can live off, man, when you find yourself. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I agree that you gotta cut. He just living too lavish, even for that kind of money that he was making.
Some people, might have, that personally, might have 4 or 5 vehicles. They don't get to drive, so just imagine having 30.
I know.
Just imagine having 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yeah, man.
I love my man to death. But I mean, I will say this: he makes smart investments as well. So he's got private. He's doing good stuff. But man, the cars he got, man, you got $300,000, $400,000 cars, and goodness, man. You only can drive one of them.
That's what I'm about to say. You might go, a couple of weeks when you touch one. You know what I'm saying? When you even touch one.
But he made great investments. I give him that, and he's smart. He ain't so frivolous, but
that's good.
Man.
And we all have our vices. You know what I'm saying?
We got our vices. Yeah, we got our vices. Yeah.
Somebody might like clothes. Somebody like shoes.
Yeah. I used to be like that, man. Shit.
I've never been a big jewelry person, right? I've never been a big jewelry person. My whole thing, hats all the time, watches and shoes. You know what I'm saying? That's like my thing. You know what I mean? But we all have our vices. And too much of anything is bad. Too much of anything is bad. Yeah, I don't care what it is. You know what I mean?
It's about balance. Balance helps you live a relative life.
You can say, hey, I eat fruit every day. Well, too much of fruit every day is bad.
Look, your body gonna let you know. Your body gonna let you know.
For sure. You know what I mean? Anything's bad.
But it's interesting, man.
Yeah, man, it really is. It really is, man. But,
what Town said? Town said his big thing was watches too. Movado still to this day, you couldn't make buy any other watch because everybody else had it. Yeah, man.
I like the Movado.
Let me see
I used to be pinky rings, bracelets, necklaces,
jewelry guy. Jewelry guy.
Yeah, I was like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what, like you say, we all have it. You know what I mean? We all had it.
Yeah. What Hammond say? Managing the maintenance on those cars. I think Clayton and Tunk said that Floyd should have been the biggest promoter in the business, but he too busy tricking it off all those boxes left. What is it? TMT.
The money team.
The money team. But check it out though, right? I always say, man, that's interesting. They brought that point up because I was wondering why did he stop that? Like, why? Because it seemed like that was the path he was going down, like promoting, right? But you know what I mean? It seemed like the people, like he said, under that umbrella, either they ain't paying out, like Adrian Broner. You know what I mean? He was one that was in that Floyd camp that seemed to like get out of there. Tank was another one. And you ask yourself why? Like why they didn't stick around. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Man.
I say Uncle Clayton, boy. What he say, boy? He say somebody said Uncle Clayton. Tom say, boy, Uncle Clayton, that's how his pop used to be.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, man. I wasn't able. I just thank God, whoever, my higher self, whatever you want to call it, but I hit rock bottom, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me, man. I'm telling you, because it allowed me to bear witness. I watched things fall into place. So from there, I was just able to, and plus I was able to do it out. And then I started finding joy in the simplest things.
Yep.
Then I said, no, none of that stuff. But no matter how much stuff I had arranged or some nice shoes, jewelry, it wasn't real. It was just momentarily. It was instant gratification. Then it's gone.
Yep.
But then when I went through what I went through and really started touching himself, nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. Then you start seeing stuff happen, fall into place. It just reassured like the trust life's process. It also showed me where my joy really comes from. And it also built my faith. So now I don't worry, stress over nothing. But I needed to go through all that bullshit. I needed to. Like I wouldn't have arrived here if I didn't have bad habits. So I don't necessarily frown upon bad habits. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you need these things to grow. But
if
man,
you grow from though, you got to grow from. Some people got
bad. Well, you do grow. It's just the extent and the extent of your growth. Because no matter what, we're gonna always grow. But how much do you grow? You know, can you develop the willpower, the determination to make choices that I'm no longer tempted by these temptations. They don't tempt me anymore. You know what I mean? So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, let me see. My man Hammer says that Al Heyman was fleecing Floyd. Floyd sued him recently. Heard they settled out of court. PBC was like a pyramid scheme.
I know that. Okay.
Yeah, he is suing somebody. I did hear that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, and let me see. Time say Floyd. 50 Cent tried to warn him, right, that he was spending too lavishly. I just think that, like you said, Clayton, though, if it's not in him to receive that message, then he just going,
right.
He gonna have to experience that. He gonna have to the hard way.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. Oh man, we ain't seen her in a minute.
Yeah, welcome back, Panama.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah, man. Man, we held you up. We supposed to, you.
Yeah, keep getting the side eye, right? I keep getting the side eye. You see, I keep looking.
I see you keep glancing to your left, right?
Hey, look, I'm at the duck, right? I'm at the duck. Yeah, man. I'm at the slide, man. But man, it was good talking to y'all fellas, man.
Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Pleasure's mine, bro. Pleasure's mine, man.
Mike, watch that damn doc, man.
Mike, I'm gonna hit you up, Mike. I'm gonna hit you up and see if you was able to check it out. Put it on the chat. You know what I mean? If you've been able to catch it, you know what I mean?
I got it written down.
Tom, check out the doc. So tell all them cats in the chat, they basketball fans.
Yeah. Tell all of them, check that out, man.
Check out that documentary, Soul Power. Yeah.
It's a good watch, man. But I'm out, fellas, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Right. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be blessed, man.
Appreciate time. Appreciate Hammers. Appreciate Panama. Yeah, man. We'll be back next Sunday, though. Yeah. Respect, no doubt. Time, respect. We'll be back next Sunday. And make sure to like, subscribe.